Quinn, first off, with the pads coming on this week, what's that transition been like for you guys going last week where there's no pads, you can't really grab guys, to now being able to carry that over to the physical side of things?
Yeah, it's being able to, like you said, being able to, add the physical element, to the game, and really tightening up our aiming points on our punches, so that way we can get a good feel for, aiming for those shoulder pads. Yeah, I've been feeling pretty good right now. I have been learning a lot. And taking every bit of coaching and every little bit of detail of anything that I can get. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about I lost a little bit of weight so that I can play faster in this outside zone, more movement system. So right now I'm feeling pretty good, but there's always things to keep correcting and getting better at and polishing up. Yeah, I would just say that the angles of our run game are different. It's a lot more, like I said, we're running off the ball, trying to create tight angles and cut the defense. And those are some of the terms that we use with this new offense. It's really predicated on getting off the ball fast and getting a lot of movement and displacement off the line.
What about for you just in year two? How much easier is everything for you having a year under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, coming in last year, I had no idea what was going to be happening at all. Going into year two, I mean, the main thing I've been talking about that was a big adjustment for me last year was, all the fans out there on the hill. One of the days we had like 7,000 people, which is a home game for me back home in Wisconsin. So that was definitely an element last year that I wasn't expecting. And on top of that, learning defenses, all the new defenses that the National Football League presents. There's so much turnover and carryover now, so where I'm learning things twice, learning things 3 times, and it's now a lot easier to have it click. It's happening faster. I'm able to make the adjustments, and now the game within the game that people talk about is starting to open up.
Could you give us a number on the pounds you lost?
I would say a solid 10 pounds. I'm right at 320. I got pretty low during the spring, but I think that 315, 320 is a solid weight for me. I feel pretty strong, and I still feel really fast.
What'd you do to lose weight? What'd you give up?
Well, I gave up a lot of dairy products.
All right. Yeah.
Got to stay away from the whole milk and the high-fat meats. So
Okay.
it's an adjustment, but this is my job and this is what I love to do. So it was easy to give them up.
Are you a vegan?
No.
In what ways do you feel different out there on a day-to-day basis because you lost that 10 pounds?
I feel like my first and second step off the ball has increased. Like my speed has increased a ton. I feel like the angles that I'm able to create, especially when I have a base 3-4 and I got a single through to the backside backer, I feel like I can just sprint and go straight ahead, and I'll beat that linebacker 9 times out of 10. And even if he gets over the top, I'm going to latch on and run you out. So certain blocks like that, I can really feel the speed, and especially when Calvin and I on the right side are working doubles, I just feel a lot faster.
How do you make sure you don't lose power while dropping weight?
So it's more of a slow process than a fast process. You don't want to just instantly cut a lot of things and be at a super big calorie deficit right away. You want to be maybe 500 to 750 at a caloric deficit, and then you'll kind of slowly lose a pound a week roughly. And then the real challenge is the maintaining, where you're trying to find your diet to be able to stay at a consistent weight.
But last year we saw kind of you pushing guys at the end of plays, being able to make plays down the field. Is that still something you think can be a strength of yours in this scheme, or does it change?
No, that's just that's offensive lineman play, in my opinion. It's being able to finish. If anything, it might be a little bit easier because I'm already going to be running off the ball and running on an angle. And then Javonte is going to hit it, and then I'm going to keep running, pushing the pile, and it's going to continue to be the same thing. That's going to be that's a part of my game that's never going to leave, and I feel like that's kind of maybe a little bit of my signature of how I play the game.
Quinn, I think Caden Davis beats you out to practice every day, so you're right on his heels. Are you going to try to get ahead of him one of these days just to throw him off or let him know that he's out of it?
I mean, I don't even really focus on that. I just I see my time on the clock. I know what I got to get focused on. I know that some people like to pay attention to that, but I'm in my process right now.
With Calvin, what sort of chemistry have you built with him? Obviously, taking a lot of reps there. And how was that process last year?
It's been great. You know, that's one of the first things, you know, when you first come into training camp, first come into OTAs and stuff, is you're trying to build that continuity with all five, and then especially when you're getting to your own, you know, your right side, left side. Calvin and I mean, at the end of every play, I'm constantly like, hey, I thought that was a pretty good double team, or hey, do you think I should do this a little bit more? I'm always about getting feedback and getting answers. So it's a complete open dialogue between Calvin and I think we're really honing in our steps and how we want to do things on our side.